Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Welcome to Cobden People's Parliament. And we're glad to have you. I saw your faces yesterday during the event, the Youth Summit that was held at Chelsea Hotel. And how can you give your impression about what actually took place? The attendance of Mr. Peter B, interacting with the youths, where he entertained a lot of questions from the students, and how are you impressed with the program, and how often would you want to see such events come up in the nearest future?
Quite right. We're really impressed with yesterday's activity with our president, Peter Obi. His presence was so awesome yesterday. The people, the masses that were there were so excited to see him. They got to know that they have a president, an upcoming president, an incoming president is going to really take care of the Nigerian people in future. That is by God grace in the year 2027.
Okay.
So that's our prayer.
So you came in this morning and you took membership card of the ADC through the Directorate of the Mobilization. What will be your commitment towards the ADC as we anticipate the influx of coalition members coming in? What would be your advice to those who are still sitting on the fence to be part of what we are building in the ADC?
For those sitting on the fence, my sincere advice to them is they should come up, stand up and pick up the card, and join this party, ADC. Truly, we are trying to work up to introduce this party nationwide because there's a coalition between the world coalitions.
Just to rescue the country.
Yeah, to rescue this country because we have to rescue our people from poverty, starvation, from insecurity, most especially.
And from people that are trying to make Nigeria look like a one-party
system.
Country, more like a dictatorship. So, yeah, we're glad that the coalition movement is really moving fast, and we just endeavor that everyone joins the moving team and the coalition to make Nigeria a better place and a better country.
Okay, and recently there were findings centered around the 2025 budgets, where some funny amounts were earmarked for street lights, road projects. Were so unbelievable. A situation where just one street light is costing 226.25 million naira. As a Nigerian, how do you feel that just one street light by your roadside is costing 226.25 million naira? How do you feel?
When I saw that trend, when I saw the news on IG, I was like, wow, it was so ridiculous because how did we get here? How did we get to this stage? And it's like everyone is just silent about it, and it's a good thing that Nigerians are not really silent as they think for someone to actually dig deep and do the whole calculation and figure that how can one street like cost this amount. So we just keep asking God for His mercy, and then we should all be ready to just vote because it's like we're sick and tired. So the only way out is to come out with full force to vote them out. Yes, they can't keep seeing us as fools. They can't. So I think we need to put an end to this whole madness.
So in other words, you are faulting the Nigerian masses for sitting on the fence and doing nothing, expecting that the country will just get better on its own.
No, it won't get better
if we don't come out, if we don't
get involved
and participate elections, in mobilizing people and educating people on the essence of coming out to vote and sticking to their rights.
So, as a final note, your advice to the Nigerian youths, what do you want them to do go forward into 2027? The PDP, we thought, have failed us massively in attempt to seek alternative. We fell into the ditch, which is the APC.
APC.
And now, do you think the Nigerian youths should still stick to these two parties, expecting a different result? Or what exactly would you advise the Nigerian youths to do?
I think they should come out from their shell. They should remove the spirit of fear. They should remove the spirit of fear and come out from their shell, because at the end of the day, the future.
The future. We're not talking about the future. We say we are here now.
Okay.
We're not talking about the future. The future has really
That's never come true.
have never come true in the life of the
future
youth.
is here,
So the future is here.
and we all need to come out with the youth. I don't know. I feel like they put them in this shell for them to be scared. So it's like that is why most youths are scared, and they just want to focus on themselves personally and just leave the country issues for probably the older ones. So I just feel like the youth should come out.
Yes,
Oh,
during the
yes.
speech of Mr. Peter Obi, he was like, it's only Nigeria where, okay, he's the comedian. He's a comedian as a rapper. It's only Nigeria as a country that our leaders are older than the country.
Exactly.
Very crazy.
How do you feel learning about that?
When I heard about it yesterday, it's fun because all my life I have all witnessed the elderly ones ruling. And in this case now, I found out that the youths are more wiser and educated. So let the youths step out.
Yes.
Let them step
The
out
older
and
ones
contest.
can.
Let the older
advise.
ones they can advise, step aside and give advice. Good advice, not the one that will shatter.
The youths are actually
Nigeria
ready
itself.
to lead and to move.
Yes, they are ready
It's just
to lead.
fear, and then what? They're really not giving us the chance to lead.
You're right. But do you know
I
what?
don't know.
There's something.
The youths are ready, like the 2023
There's something I'm
election.
scared of.
The-
There's something I'm scared of in terms of the youths as it is now. I'm scared that the youth has already been poisoned. They are already been introduced into this corruption. So my fear now is, will they, when they sit on that seat, will they be able to handle that seat without corruption?
You know, talking about corruption, if we can remove the cancer that is causing the corruption, the wound will heal.
Okay.
Like in the message of Mr. Peter Obi yesterday during the Youth Summit, he said, if we want to solve the corruption of the country, is if the president isn't stealing, his wife isn't stealing, his children are not stealing, then you have solved corruption by 50%.
Exactly.
Do you agree with that?
I agree with you, sir. I agree with you.
So sad.
And historically, Nigerian voters have been divided along tribal, religious background, and so far it has not helped the country to be able to grow, to be able to develop. What will be your message into 2027? What are you advising Nigerians to consider as per criteria for selecting candidates, starting from wards, from councillorship to chairmanship, senators, House of Rep, presidential, all those positions? What do you advise?
My sincere advice to them is they should take away or stick out anything called ethnic tribalism, religious, and other things. They should set it aside and be focused.
Yes.
They should set it aside and be focused. Vote for the person that has the right.
Good manifestos.
good manifestos,
Put in
Character.
someone
Right
that
character,
is ready to
competence.
listen to the
And-
people.
yes, and integrated, someone that is,
Integrity.
has integrity,
Compassion.
compassion.
Compassion,
Yes.
ready to listen.
You
There's
know,
nothing
you
as
can't
listening
lead
to your
people.
people.
You can't lead people like you are ruling animals.
No.
You push them into the trailer to travel from one zone to another.
Hmm.
We are human beings. We need to be led with compassion.
I just feel
Exactly.
like for 2027 election, I feel like Nigerians should just set aside whatever difference that they feel they have, and just their goal should just be ensuring that Nigeria is a better place for everybody to live. In terms of security, economy, and every other aspect. I feel like the most important goal that any Nigerian should have right now is just seeing Nigeria as a country do better, improve in technology and every other aspect. Like we should move forward, not still letting the bad people and the dictators circulate themselves, just keep circulating without manifesto, without compassion, without anything.
And the funny aspect is that while they know they are about living, they are recruiting their children, they are preparing their children
towards, yes, as if it's a royal,
yeah.
it's a royal,
Yeah, like
it's a
the
royal,
same
royal
circle.
yes, a royal throne where
So-
each and everyone should come
So
and
this
take
should
it.
trouble the youths to get more involved
Yes.
and passionate about politics, because in the end of it all, politics in your country have 70% chances of making or destroying our lives as people. So
But there's another thing I will really chip in here that is really disturbing the youth is lack of fund. Most youth out there have that intention of coming out for a specific position, but because of they have no means of
to be
writing
Yes,
or
because most political
yes,
parties
buying
now
it.
make it
Even
difficult
buying
for
the
them
form,
to
yes,
come out to
Exactly.
participate
Yes,
in elections.
Exactly.
in 2023, the target was only centered on Mr. Peter Obi to become president. But see, in 2027, the approach is different now. We are now recruiting and encouraging young people to get involved in politics of their country, starting from their wards.
Yes.
Show interest, get involved, mobilize. And if your constituency say you are the one that should represent them, why not? The movement will support to ensure that we get there.
Yeah.
So when we achieve the new Nigeria, that is when the son of a nobody, can become somebody.
Yes.
A nobody not because he's nobody, but because the society sees him or her as a nobody.
As a nobody. Yeah.
But in the new Nigeria, all that will not be criteria. So long as you have the capacity, you have the competency, you have the credibility to represent your people, that should be the focal point of who becomes the leader. Leadership comes with a lot of responsibility. People don't know.
Exactly.
But if you are genuinely interested in leading your people, it comes with responsibility.
Exactly.
But these guys are acquiring the power, they're deliberately just
Travel every week.
trampling the country down. Having over 30 overseas troops is not good for any president.
Somebody is hunger in the land and they travel
To other,
every
week to
other countries. For
So
promote greener pastures and other things. You notice even their children
why
are
can't you
not
make
lacking.
your country that way?
Just
Why
like
don't you make your country conducive for people to actually
visit instead of you visiting them.
do business comfortably without having security fears and the rest? So,
But you know, there is one certain time I enjoyed Nigeria when I was young, my younger age. I noticed that Nigeria on its own, especially in Jos, the foreigners were trooping in. There was peace during the time of Babangida, during the time of Awolowo, Moritala, and others. There was a kind of peace in Nigeria. although there are kidnaps, people do kidnap for ritual and other things. But you can travel by road and still stop on the way without anybody attacking you on the way. You can travel by the road and make a tent by the bush side. It's just the animals, the snake and other things that you'll be scared of.
Not the fear of being kidnapped.
Not the fear of being kidnapped or being harassed by the villagers. Nobody will disturb you.
Yes, you know.
There was this kind of sweet enjoyment, peace, before bomb blasts, the coming of bomb blasts in the year, is it 20, is it in the year
2009.
Was it 2009?
It started 2009.
Yes, that bomb blast and other things, Boko Haram started existing, and they changed it from Boko Haram to herdsmen, from herdsmen to gunmen, and all sorts of names. How I wish Nigeria would go back to 80s.
I do, by the grace of God.
I wish, that's my prayer, that if you go back to 80s, down during that 80s, as I said in Jos was like the Nigerian Dubai we have. Jos was the Nigerian Dubai we have. When you go to Lagos, Lekki and the Lekki Bridge, what do they call these other areas in Lagos? There's island, all those island area. Those places are also places where people go to have their vacation. Bar Beach, Lekki Beach, and all. They have their vacation. These are the foreign areas where the foreigners step in to take care of themselves. Then when you talk about Port Harcourt, talk about where the foreigners also establish themselves in Port Harcourt because of the weather there. They enjoy the weather there, they establish themselves. Most people there, before this kidnapping stuff started existing, they now say they don't want the foreigners in Port Harcourt, they started chasing them off. You see, we really need to go back to the 80s.
All right, while we're going back to the 80s, we should be making advancement because globally countries have moved forward. It all boils down to quality of leaders. If we continue as youths to fold our arms and wait for the worst among us to continue to rule us, then we should give up. There will be no better way out of it. But if we are resolute and we join our hands together, a handshake across the divide,
Exactly, a handshake.
A new Nigeria will be
A new Nigeria with ADC.
Yes, will be indeed possible. So thank you for joining us and have a lovely day.
Thank you, sir.